you need to have a very firm belief first and foremost on yourself. If you believe in yourself, that belief system will help you navigate all the difficulties.
You meet someone and you talk to them about their business. The moment I meet someone, the moment they start complaining about their business environment, what's going on, whose fault is it, I lose interest.
99% of the time, you will have no control of the situations that you're faced with and how they unfold.
Belief is, I think then you're going into the territory of believing in the environment, believing in, and you've said this before, believing in the country, believing in the vision of the country, aligning your attitude.
I would recommend that you hire people for their attitude, freshers. If you see that attitude, hire them.
Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of The Brick Buzz. Our topic of conversation today is a very interesting one at least from Capella's point of view. It's a purposeful one. There's a purpose while we're sitting here today, because off camera, before we started recording, we were talking about fresh agents. Where everybody, all agencies, everybody in real estate is looking for fresh blood to come into the market. Is that what you're doing, Mr. Asim? Is that something that occupies your mind and your agenda these days from a business development point of view?
It's not only, when I was talking to people and people ask me, I'm going to start in real estate. So what attributes should I have? How should I start? What are the key requirements for a person to be in real estate? So this, whatever we're going to discuss, is not only important and relevant to a person who's looking to start a career in real estate, but also to their managers. It's also very helpful to the team leads. It's also very helpful for the management team of the brokerage houses and the senior management and the owners, because they would also like to see those attributes in people. And once they identify those attributes, then the chances of success of any person in this specific field becomes much more higher. So there's no exact formula, but over a period of time, what we have seen is these are the key attributes. If you have these, then your chances of being successful in this career are much more pronounced, I would say.
Excellent. There's something very interesting that I think about. There's a lot of people wonder whether to hire freshers or to hire experienced agents. I was sitting with somebody the other day. Their agency is about a year and a half old in operation, and they've done very well. I could see from that person's, the guy who's heading the company, his knowledge and the way he spoke, I could tell this guy's got it. He was saying that his strategy, and he doesn't do sales. He doesn't do sales himself. He didn't start doing sales. A year and a half, he hasn't touched a sale. He just brought guys in, trained them, and they're doing well. A few of them, there's always 80-20. A few of them are doing very well for the company. He was saying that he did this deliberately to hire fresh agents, some people without real estate experience, brought them in, trained them for 3 months, and then put them out into the market. And I said, why? He said, because he used the word loyalty. I don't agree with it, but he said the way you train them is how you get them to work for you. But if you bring in somebody experienced, he was skeptical about it. You bring somebody experienced, they will try to, they're coming from experience of other agencies, this and that, and they will say to your junior guy that, oh, this guy, you're only earning 50%, somebody else is offering 70. Oh, they can pollute a little bit. So is that what do you think about that? So where are you? Which side of the fence are you? Fresh agents, experienced agents, whichever your choice is, why?
Okay.
Is something I'm interested to know.
So I would absolutely 110% agree on whatever you said. I believe that you should hire for attitude, and rest everything you can build on. Your competence, your performance, your knowledge base, that has to be built upon. There's a very interesting theory about this, that we have never been taught the unlearning process.
Hmm.
We've always been taught the learning process. You have to learn this, you have to learn this, you have to learn this. How do we unlearn in order for you to have a person who is of worth in your organization? That person needs to let go of whatever he has learned in other organizations, which might have worked over there.
Right.
The culture might be different, the locations might be different, the scenarios might be different, the investor set that you have might be different, the philosophy of your company might be different. So I believe that you're not in a business of selling just the property, you're in the business of finding the right house for that person. You're going to help them select.
So how does one go through that unlearning process when they move?
Yes. So that is why unlearning process is a very difficult process. You have to let go of whatever you have learned. We have seen this across the board. You see, there are 170 plus nationalities in Dubai. Everybody comes with their own dreams, visions, set of traits that they have. And then they have to come on board and sort of conform to this society. And they have to let go of a lot of habits that they have gathered over a period of time, and their experience and their exposure and everything. That has to be unlearned. So you don't just do it, because at times that becomes your second nature. If you, for example, your driving habits, they become second nature to you, and you know, this is my driving style, this is my driving pattern, this is the way I used to drive back home. Here it's not applicable. So unless you pass through that curve and earn a lot of black points and earn a lot of like whatever fines that you accumulate, that is your unlearning process, and then you conform to the society, right? Now you, as a person who's at the helm of affairs, have to invest in that person in that unlearning process. I would recommend that you hire people for their attitude, freshers. If you see that attitude, hire them. You train your kids as well at home, right? Or you get them pre-trained from. You have to train them, and you have to guide them, and you have to coach them. And then they become that productive member of society that you want. Same is the process with your team. It's your responsibility to make sure that you hire the right people for the right attitude. And then you, if you know the stuff, if you know what you're talking about, if you know the market, if you know how the developers work, how the real estate market works, how the international market works, then how difficult is it for you to train? Are you a good trainer? I've met a lot of people who have immense knowledge, but it's very difficult for them to impart that knowledge to the second person. So if you have, and that you would know on your own, that I possess this knowledge or not. Am I knowledgeable enough? Number one. Am I skillful enough to impart that knowledge and transfer that knowledge to the next person? If those two boxes are ticked, and you say yes, box number one checked, number two checked, then you hire fresh graduates and train them from scratch, like you do your kids. You would not like to have a kid who's like pre-trained on something. You say, I'm going to train and groom and improve the knowledge base, the skill base, the behavioral patterns of my kids. Same applies with your team members. You have to have the right mindset. I don't use the word employees. I deliberately am using the word team members. They have to be a part of your team. If it's not only the words, Asad, at times it's not just only the words. It's a philosophy behind choosing those words and the mindset that you have. If the mindset is correct, then everything else will fall into place.
This is not going into manager versus leader thing, is it?
No.
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 Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Both people are very important. We need managers, we need leaders, and we are not going to pitch both of them against each other, because that's not an apple to apple comparison.
Right.
And I don't subscribe to the philosophy of pitching the two together and say, oh, I want leader and I need. At times you need managers to manage, and at times you need leaders to lead. The job profile of those two people in majority of the cases is entirely different. The tasks are entirely different. Managers and leaders are two different spheres. At times they overlap, at times and in areas they merge. But it's not 100% stencil on each other.
Right.
So do you agree with that?
I do 100%. So let's get into it. What?
So 5 basic attributes that I would say. The number 1, we have already said that you need to hire for attitude. The second is behavior. The third is competence. The fourth is discipline. And the fifth one is evaluation and review.
2 of them I'm very interested in. The last one, evaluation and review. But let's go in sequence.
So what is your take, I would say? What I'll ask you this time.
No, I'd love to know is that in order of?
Yes.
That's in order of, should we say priority? No, order of.
Yes, priority.
Priority from
a perspective of a new person joining this sphere, or if you are the person who's been designated to hire resources for your organization, that the first thing you need to see is the attitude. The first and foremost thing. Attitude can be defined as your approach to a particular situation, person, problem, or task.
So what is it? Quick thinkers, action takers, positive mindset, not complaining, not blaming. Is that attitude? Is that what defines attitude in this business field? Because you meet someone and you talk to them about their business. The moment I meet someone, and the moment they start complaining about their business environment, what's going on, whose fault is it, I lose interest. So to me, that shows bad attitude.
So
not bad attitude, but I'm not interested in that conversation then.
So 3 things here. Number 1, how you think. Number 2, how you feel. And the third one, how you react. Right? So these are 3 fundamental pillars of your attitude. So how you think. A problem comes to you. Do you have a fight or flight mode? Do you say, no, okay, let me think of how to resolve it, or how I can pass it on to somebody else? That is my attitude. Okay, I have a hands-off approach. Something comes to me, I'm not going to do it. Let the other person handle it. It's not my problem. So your thinking comes here. How do you feel about that? Okay, this person is in need. I need to help them. I feel the need to help my client. I feel the need to reach out to them and solve their issues. If somebody comes to me with a problem, I ask them, okay, my team member comes. I said, okay, come to me with at least 3 solutions, and out of those 3, what would you recommend? I have solution number 1, number 2, number 3. Out of these 3, this is the one I recommend, and this is the reason. So you actually thought about it. So it goes back to the thinking. You felt that yes, I need to present my solution base and then get an expert advice from somebody senior in my team, my manager, my line manager, my general manager, anybody in the senior in that organization. And then how do I react? I said 99% of the times you will have no control of the situations that you are faced with and how they unfold. You only have control on your reactions to that situation. So if your reactions are correct, if the manner in which you react to that situation is good, then you will be able to manage that.
And that's what you look for as
So
far as
that
attitude is concerned.
collective defines your attitude. Now, a combination of all these three. And how do you put these to work? Right? Your attitude is also reflected in your personal presentation. Are you well dressed? Are you dressed for that job? You do not dress for the position you are at. You should dress for the position that you seek in future.
Yeah.
All
Dress
these
for the
things,
job you want. Yeah.
all these things, people
Dress.
think that they're cliches and this and that.
No, it's true. They're cliches for a reason.
They're cliches for a reason. That you, at the end of the day, you need to see, am I going to be presentable enough? Is my personal hygiene up to date? I'm going to interact with people. Dubai is a hot place. I'm going to go out. I'm going to meet people. How's my personal hygiene? How do I appear? Do I appear confident? Do I appear in control of the situation? Do I have the requisite information to be presented to my client? Am I confident? So all these things are part of your attitude.
Okay.
So that when you self-reflect every day on the way you have a collect of this, then check for attitude. So I would say always number one, check for attitude. If the attitude is correct, if the attitude is right, because that will define, upgrade your attitude or downgrade your expectation. So if you need something to be done, you need to upgrade to that level of attitude where your expectations are met with that. Or if you say, okay, I have a lot of people say attitude issues. They may or may not be the right set of people that for the customer services environment. Because real estate at the end of the day is a customer based environment. It's a customer services environment. If your attitude is not corresponding to that, then you do not have the relevant set of skills. So that's what I say. Now, the second, belief.
Belief is tricky.
What's your take on belief?
Belief is, I think then you're going into the territory of believing in the environment, believing in, and you've said this before, believing in the country, believing in the vision of the country, aligning your attitudes, your outlook to the future with the future of this country, and all of this, the thing, the why.
Everybody who has come here as a fresher, I would say 99% of those people have not killed it on the day one.
Yeah.
Oh, I've made great. I'm settled day one and I'm all done and dusted and I have everything.
Nobody sold
figured
real
out.
estate on the first day. Yeah.
So you need to have a very firm belief first and foremost on yourself. If you believe in yourself, that belief system will help you navigate all the difficulties. That yes, I can do it. That will link towards your attitude as well. So your belief system and your attitude combine, your belief and your attitude combine. But I think belief system also extends from your attitude. So if you have the belief, that will be reflected in your attitude.
Yeah.
I do not know anything about real estate. I'm joining, but I have the belief in myself that yes, I can learn and I can give results. That is first and foremost. So belief system, then after you have the belief on yourself, then what do you have to have? You have to have the belief in the country that you're working in. 93% of the population of Dubai, expat population, you know that, I know that, everybody knows that. So 93% of the people who come here, this is not the country they were born in. So I had a belief that yes, UAE is the best place where I can go and not only make my career, but also make a better life for myself and for my family. Agreed? So this is the belief that I had. In UAE, you have a belief in Dubai that yes, Dubai, thriving economy, lot has been said. I would not go into the details of it. We can have another of Dubai. Like why Dubai? I think this question has been answered too many times.
Yeah.
Then when you come to Dubai, then you have to select a career. Now, out of that, all the career options that you have, you selected real estate. So you need to believe that yes, real estate is the first and foremost and the very right thing for me. Then the organization that you select, I'm going very systematically in this, then the organization that you have selected and the leadership that you have within the organization is very important. So all these things combined would give you an idea of the belief that you need to have. It's a need, it's not a want. The belief that you have in yourself, the country, the city, the profession that you have chosen, the organization that you have selected, the manager team that you're being working with, and the mentor or the leader of that organization, that yes, the vision is aligned. I have a very clear idea of their vision, and that vision is going to transpire into success.
And that is how you're seeing the hierarchy.
That is how you channelize it. That's how you filter it.
What's on the top? Your
personal belief. I don't believe in myself, so even if I go into a top-notch organization, it will not be working for me because I don't believe in myself.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I have to believe in myself. Once I believe in myself, then I can make it in whatever profession I go to.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fresher. I don't know. So I do my due diligence. I need to have... This generation of youngsters need to have mentors.
Great.
So now all the opportunities that you are going to get would stem from it. So if you make a bad call, maybe you have made a bad call in selecting the team leader, selecting your mentor, but then always you can change that. If you've made a bad call in selecting an organization, you can always change that. So that tweaking has to be done. That tweaking will reflect, and then you will come to a point where you have found all the right boxes, you've checked all the right boxes, and all positivity is there. Dubai, I think, is a very, very positive place. It's one of the most positive places I've seen. Except for in Corona, then it was totally negative. But apart from that, it's a very positive place. And that positivity, if it's reflected in your attitude and belief, will actually help you propel better.
100%.
Now coming towards competence. And competence is something that you had questions about. What is your take on competence?
My take on competence.
In real estate, let's talk about real estate. Real estate, if you talk about competence, do you know about the industry trends? The global market, Dubai market, the geography of Dubai. You can talk about communities, the developers, the laws, the regulations, the whole 9 yards. If you're not interested in reading upon these things, how are you going to talk to international clients? Now, competence, as we discussed, is the knowledge that you have in that industry. So for real estate, we said that the industry trends, the global market, the Dubai market, the geography of Dubai, the communities, the developers, the Dubai coastline, the Dubai skyline, which areas to select, and then talking about how to structure deals, talk about the laws, talk about the regulations, talk about the infrastructure that is Dubai real estate. So how do you understand these things and how do you communicate it to the other people? Are you interested in learning?
Are people motivated to learn these things, or people think they'll just get, once they start on the job, they'll just it'll come to them, or they'll learn through conversations?
So this people are, yes, interested in the initial start. I believe there are only two types of people. One that remain focused, and the second ones that get distracted at any period of time during the journey. So if you are in category A, you're perfectly fine. Then you will start developing on yourself. You start working on yourself. You'll say, okay, I need to increase my knowledge base. I need to read up on things. I need to start having intelligent conversations with people who have made it big in real estate. At one point in time when I started this, I said, okay, I'm going to sit with people who have actually done it right, and I need to understand how they have achieved this. How do they sell properties? How do they sell real estate on a larger magnitude? So, you are an average of 5 people who you hang around with. So if you hang around with the right kind of crowd, then it's perfectly fine. If you hang around with people who are just idle chit-chatters, and the conversation you're going to have are majority of the time is going to be meaningless. So if you're going to have meaningless conversations over time, that's where you're going to end up with.
True.
Then comes discipline, the fourth pillar. So how do you rate discipline?
I think it's only about discipline, because your attitude and your belief and your competence are things that you can control. But when it comes to discipline, that goes against everything that goes around you, all the distractions, all the setbacks, all the negativity, basically. If you're disciplined against that, these are things that that are your reaction based on everything that's thrown upon you. Are you disciplined? So I think it ranks pretty.
It is one of the most formidable cornerstone, I would say, or the foundation or the pillar, you can say, that will launch your real estate career in the right direction, or it can go left, right, and you can go haywire.
Because it's very much about same tasks day in, day out, day after day after day after day.
Yes. You've heard about tipping point theory, right?
No, I haven't.
So tipping point theory says that if this is a pen and I apply force here, it's not going to fall till this time. And after that, a small pressure and this will fall. So the pressure that is actually required is not the last thing. It's from zero
been building up
to that point where it built up. Like, we were saying that straw that broke the camel's back. So it is not only that straw.
Yeah.
It is the compilation of all the straws that went into that pile before this last straw. So now, how disciplined are you in remaining focused? And when do you get distracted? Because Dubai is a place where there are a lot of distractions as well. You have your peers, you have your counterparts, you have your people who have been engaged in real estate, and then people will say, "Oh, I've been in real estate for the last 7 years, and it's not working out for me." Or I would like to do real estate part-time. I have my other thing, and real estate is going to be a side hustle for me. Real estate in Dubai in particular, and everywhere else in the globe, is not a side hustle. You're dealing with not only people's money, you're dealing with their aspirations, their dreams, their hopes. Please make sure somebody saves money throughout their life to invest in a house that is going to be converted into a home. That is a lifelong dream of that family. And you are helping them in making a decision.
That's very interesting, because whenever I've asked somebody, can real estate be a side hustle? Whenever I've asked agents have said, no, it can't be a side hustle because you can't do this part-time. There's too much competition. Nobody ever says that. Think of because somebody can go into real estate as a part and they won't make as much money as a full-time agent. But it's not. Everybody always says it's always about
money is a byproduct.
But nobody's ever said that. Think of the person whose transaction you're going to do. The people who are actually spending the money, trusting you to spend the money, save up. For a lot of them, it's lifetime savings, it's ambition, it's
A whole
aspirations.
family comes together and says, okay, we are going to make a now decision of buying a property in Dubai.
So think about them for a second.
Think about them. They are now. Imagine you're going to a doctor who's going to perform an open heart surgery on you. Would you choose the most competent doctor, or would you choose a person who says, okay, I am basically a carpenter and being a heart surgeon is my side hustle? Like, so, I mean,
Not going to go very far.
yeah. And you're going to damage others. During this process, you're going to hurt others.
Very good. Yeah, really like that answer. And then finally, I think this is the one I was quite interested in. Are we at evaluation and progress, was it?
So the last, before this, one element of discipline that I said, and I've read it somewhere, and I've written it down, that the degree of discipline that you exhibit is directly proportional to the degree of success that you achieve. The degree of discipline that you exhibit is directly proportional to the degree of success that you achieve. And that is an awesome statement. That's a magnificent, it just blew my mind. Wow. Am I disciplined enough to achieve that? To follow it through? To follow it through. So that just encompasses the discipline part.
Love that.
Now, the last, but certainly not the least, is the evaluation and review. Every day, when you go home, when you're driving back home, or you have 10-15 minutes of your time and you say, okay, now I need to evaluate how my day went. What could I have done differently? What could I have done in a better manner? And that change, would that bring about the right results for me? Because if the results are right in that manner, then you've cracked the code, my friend. So we don't do that. Oh, this did not happen because, it was my luck, and I don't know, the client got offended or the client will slip through. Why? Could I do anything better? Should I have done it in this manner? And then you go back to your mentor and you go back to the people that are higher in that chain from you. And then you discuss that first with yourself, so that you know that yes, this is self-reflection, and I have come to a conclusion that this, if I would have done it in a different manner, would have given me different results, would have given me better results. Or I discuss it with a mentor. Or I said, no problem. It's 6 or 6:30 or 7, whatever time you say, I'll punch my clock, I'll go out, and then I'll party and enjoy, and let's review it tomorrow.
Yeah, because especially in real estate, you don't, you're not closing every day. You're not closing a sale, or you're not closing a rental deal every day. So if you don't evaluate yourself at the end of every day, how do you know that you've had a productive week after 7 days?
Okay.
Because you didn't close a deal for maybe the entire week, you don't have anything tangible. So how do you know that you've had a productive week? By evaluating step by step for 7 days.
You don't close every day. A lot of people do close every day. But then, have you worked on your pipeline for that day? Have you reached out to your clients? Have you made any progress in the numbers that you had to call? Have you made any progress in your communication with your clients? Have you brought them closer to finalizing that villa or apartment or whatever they wanted to buy? What have you done to narrow that gap between a buyer and a seller? There's a price disagreement. There is a timeline disagreement. What has been your contribution towards resolving a problem? You see, people in Dubai or anywhere across would pay happily to resolve problems. Everything is about the solution. Everything that you buy and you do is about the solution. So if you are part of that solution provider chain, then everything will work fine. If you're not a part of that chain, then everything will go sideways. So self-reflection, at the end of the day, how can I make myself better? Should I read more? Should I brush my knowledge on the things that are happening across the globe? What is happening in the stock market? What is the global dynamics about? Elections in certain parts of the world affect real estate. How is it going to affect it? What are the possible outcomes? What are the new laws by Dubai Land Department? What are the new RERA regulations? What the developer is coming up with, how is that going to affect the overall master community or that lay of the land? Do you have a knowledge of the lay of the land? Okay, this community is coming up because of this reason. MR is launching every week because of what reason? Are they not aware of what's happening? Are they just launching, oh, there's too much oversupply, there's this happening, and Dubai is launching every week, but why? What is the bigger picture, boss? The thing is, what is the bigger picture? Are you aware of it? If not today, if I interact with my client and he asks me a question and I say, I'm sorry at times, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer. Give me a day and let me come back to you. 80% of the people I've met, not 100%, 80% of the people, if they don't know answer, if they do not know the answer, they would give me a random answer. They would give me an answer which they think is right, and they're not confident in themselves. That, people should understand, is evident to the other person. So his confidence on you starts declining. So what you need to do is to be confident. I'm sorry, I'm not Google, I don't have answers to everything. Give me a day, give me 2 days, give me 3 days. Let me search on it. Let me do my homework. Let me do my due diligence and come back to you with the right answers. And once you come back, you will be more confident, you will be more knowledgeable, you will be more engaging, and the client will also know that you had his or her best interest in your mind. That's why you did all that due diligence, right? So that is the way to go.
That falls into evaluation and...
Because until unless you evaluate yourself, until unless you go back and reflect, yet this is what I did. And you know, the next time I'm faced with a situation, again it goes back to that attitude, that I have that attitude of correcting myself and improving myself, and I have to be positive. So yes, this is a situation I was faced with. This is going to be my reaction. So I will think, I will feel, and then I will apply that and do the follow through.
Excellent. Good. I think on that note, we should wrap up this conversation. Hope this was very valuable. I think it was, kept me engaged throughout our conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to have this meaningfully insightful conversation with you.
I think it's also about taking our potential audience seriously. We have to take an audience seriously.
The audience is very serious because they would also like to know that you have that compassion, you understand what are their aspirations. Like I said before, you don't have to think that, oh, I have to sell this property, whatever is easy to sell or whatever gives me more commission. You're dealing with people's aspirations, their hard-earned money, their life savings. Somebody has liquidated all their properties in some part of the world and given you the money so that you can buy them the house, which is not going to depreciate over time because the next generation is going to use it.
I like how it all connects.
It all connects
each other.
it all connects.
All of
with
these
each
points
other.
kind of connect to
Kind
each
of
other.
connect to each other.
In some places, you feel they cascade down. In other places, you feel like they're just.
But
combination.
everything is connected, and thank you, Asad, for that meaningful conversation. Whenever I have a conversation with you, I feel that a lot of meaningful content come out of
I
it.
think it also has to do with what I was saying, audience seriously, because we take each other seriously.
Yes,
That's where it comes from. So we don't. This is not us passing time. We actually take each other seriously. I know that the purpose of this. What is it to you? You know what is it? What is the purpose of this for me? We both know that. So we sit together and make the most of it.
One of the most valuable commodities that you and I have is time.
Yeah.
And we give each other that due respect.
Yeah.
By being on time, by being that disciplined to be on time every week, sit across the table and discuss a topic which is going to, if even I would say 10 people see it, it's going to bring some value in their life.
Of course it does.
So it's not about pricing, it's about the value addition that this brings to their lives.
And please tell me how much of a disturbance was this 45 minutes in your day? If you really think about it,
it's not.
It's in your mind. I've got to sit with Asad on Friday for 45 minutes.
But then we have to have that discipline that every Friday we're going to sit. There's an MR launch which is going on, and right before this, we were engrossed in that calls and this and selection of this unit, and then talking to clients, making sure that the payments are done, making sure that the selection is done. As soon as that was done, we hopped on here, because this, for me and for you, is as important as making that sale.
Yeah, it's part of the job.
Carrying out that transaction and carrying out this conversation are equally important.
100%, because the whole conversation thing is part of the job. This is what you do.
Yes.
So it's all. That's why I always say it's just have a conversation. Have a conversation. And we know, like, anyway, we'll talk about this next week. But yeah, let's wrap up the episode.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Asad.
And we'll see you next week.
Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you.